Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, or perhaps welcome back to the channel. As you might have gathered, this is a video about a demo title, Dark and Darker. The Dark and Darker demo has been on Steam for about a week. It's got a few days left, and I thought it might be worth sharing some of the things I learned while playing, as well as a few thoughts on my experience with the game and what's to come. When you first load the game, you're asked to create a character where you choose a name and class. The demo had 6 classes. The fighter, who's great with most armor and weapons. The barbarian, who doesn't need much armor to be useful as long as they have two-handed weapons. The rogue, who's pretty quick in pretty much every way, from running to looting. The ranger, who, lo and behold, is great from range, but much less useful up close and personal. The wizard, who is a powerful spellcaster and a bit of a glass cannon. And finally, the cleric, who is a healer and a tank, but they move very slowly around the map. As you level up each character, you'll have the opportunity to add extra perks. I could go through every single skill and perk, but who knows if they'll be the same when the game drops fully, but also I'd love to keep this video under 4 hours long. The most important thing to note is that you'll get experience towards levels just by doing things in the game, as you normally would. Pretty straightforward, just like clicking the like button on this video. Now with the character made, it's time to get in-game. The demo offered 2 maps. One was solo only, while the other let you join with a party of up to 3. The goal of both maps is the same, however. Get the loot from the chests scattered around the map and escape. As you spawn in, the first thing you'll usually see is something undead. As you traverse the map, you'll see various aggressive monsters that will try to end you on sight. As you move along further, assuming you don't have an unfortunate end to an encounter with some of the more obnoxious enemies, you'll likely bump into another player or party of players. In Forgotten Castle, the party map, people are typically instantly aggressive, whereas in the Goblin Caves, the solo-only map, people are often willing to be a bit more passive as long as you don't get between them and their way out. I would describe the game as a dungeon crawler battle royale. There is a PUBG, Fortnite, Apex zone that slowly decreases in size until it envelops the entire map, at which point the round ends. You'll notice the minimap on screen in the footage playing. Notice the red area, that is the death zone, while inside the white circle is temporary safety. As the game goes on, small pillars, which are actually portals, begin to rise from the floor. Blue pillars are escape portals. The red pillars are down portals. Taking a down portal will transport you to a secondary area where you will have the chance to find higher level loot while also fighting more difficult monsters, thus vastly increasing your chance of untimely demise. When you manage to find, activate, and travel through an escape portal, you are safe, and then you can sell your loot to merchants through the menu screen. The game has 12 merchants who will buy and sell various wares. For example, the collector will pay you for all sorts of gems and trinkets, while the alchemist will restock your potions. Now you might be wondering what happens if you fall in combat and can't escape. Well, nothing. You'll end up back where you started. You're kinda screwed until you make it out for the first time. But once you do, it's easier to equip yourself for future runs with potions, better armor, and weapons, as well as things like traps, campfires, and torches to make traversing the levels a little more doable. The game is very simple so far. Spawn, fight, loot, then either escape or don't. However, there are some class-based level up features and some merchant quests teased as coming soon. It will be interesting to see how these are implemented. Overall, I enjoyed my time playing it, and it's definitely big, but there are some kind of glaring balance issues. It is entirely possible that you'll spawn in a room that has one of the most difficult monsters to beat in order for you to get out of not only the level but the room itself. If you are unequipped and unready, it is highly likely that you won't make it out alive from an encounter with a wraith. It is impossible to know how much health enemies have. You can spend upwards of a minute fighting a single monster. Well, that doesn't sound like a long time, but when the round only goes for 10 minutes and there are other players looking to end you, it does really add up. While movements and interactions are slow, the game itself is actually quite fast-paced. Things go from reasonably safe to the big sleep very, very quickly. In conclusion, I had fun with it, and I think you will too. It's up for a couple more days, so check it out if any of this has sounded interesting. If you've played it already, let me know down in the comments section what your thoughts are. What class did you enjoy most, and what was the biggest haul you came home with? I think mine was about 105 gold total of one run. Anyway, that's all for today. Have a good one.